So we're going to go through fullbacks. We've got a lot of options, a lot of Evos, and most definitely a lot of players that can be used. We've gone with the new formation of how I do these tiers in top meta, very usable, needs an Evo, which we'll kind of discuss, and also then there is some that you miss. There's some that Evos can't even perform a miracle on them, to be honest. So if you're looking for coins, head to the description of the video, have a look at U7, click go to site, and you'll be transported straight to the coin page for FC25. There is plenty of mounts, and we know full well that U7 are the cheapest, safest, reliablest coins that you can get out there. Once selected your product, click buy, and you'll also be given a newcomer an extra bonus per time. Then obviously head over to the discount, type in JT11 for your discount code, and you'll be able to get that lovely 8% off every single time. And there is also massive creators that are on screen that are also affiliated with U7 Buy. And if that's not enough to convince you, there is lots of different reviews that you can go on Trustpilot and have a look for yourselves. Safe, reliable, and fast. So straight off the bat, two Evos that do very well and just need more and more and more. And I'll give you the examples. It's Ferland Mendy and also Kyle Walker. An example of one that I'd probably miss until he gets the upgrade, which I don't think he's got one yet. He's had an inform, is Cancelo. I don't think going for his Evo is going to be the right move. I would definitely be looking at either a Mendy or a Walker, in my personal opinion. Cancelo's great when he gets a full upgrade. He's obviously not had one as of yet, so once he gets that base up there, that's when I'd possibly then say, oh, he could do with an Evo when eventually he runs out. A lot of these fullbacks, no double play style plus, so that's going to be a massive move for a lot of them. We've got very few players with double at the moment. A lot of the top end more so than anything in the past couple of weeks, but nothing too crazy at the moment. So Cancelo, like I said, I would personally miss out a little bit. There is plenty of Evos. I need to zoom that out a little bit. We obviously have got some Evos for him. He obviously can go up to 86. If you go into the previous Evo builder, more than likely we could have got him to maybe an 88, maybe an 87 at an absolute push. You could have gone with like that, the Press Proven Plus, Chip Shot Plus, all that jazz. But when it comes down to it, I just don't think he's the one that I'd go for. Ferland Mendy, very good base, as we already know. The 84 in himself is still 18,500. If you think that Salah at a 91 or 90, whatever he's 89, is 20,000, and he's only an 84. Yes, the kind of how much you pack him is going to be completely reliant on the price as well. It just shows you how good Ferland Mendy truly is. And obviously we've got multiple evolutions that you can go with. Multiple evolutions he could have gone with from previous. Going all the way down to the bottom, we're looking at some massive ones. You could have gone with a brilliant Bon Pastor. You could have then threw a Sentinel on him. You could have threw the weak foot on him if obviously he didn't have it already. Press Proven, Chip Shot. You got Rapid with a Dead Ball if you wanted. Loads and loads of options. And to be honest, at that sort of stats, looking at 4 extra defending, 2 physical, 6 on the dribbling and passing, and an extra pace on top, added him to the 83 composure, he's still not at that final form. It's funny because last year we couldn't get enough. We got this card, the Centurions, very quickly, then to the Dynasties, and before we knew it, we got into this one, and then obviously into the final form of Mendy. We didn't really have too many the year before, and the year before that. This looks like we're going to go back to the same again of we might get him in footies and that's really about it. So Evos are going to be his best friend. And then same with Walker. I know Walker more than likely will get an upgrade at some point. If you do look back at generations, he's very much like Mendy. He just doesn't get that much. Like he's had a couple, like Team of the Year honourable. Don't know if he'd quite get in there this year. But then he got into the road to the knockout. He got into the shapeshifters as a centre-back, which is what we always wanted. A centre-back in form Walker when they started doing that and moving the positions was massive for a Walker card because his pace was just incredible in that centre-back role. It's not necessarily needed anymore. We've got so many centre-backs with more pace. It's absolutely incredible. But right now, we can make him up to that 87. I believe you could just go straight in with this one. I don't know which one I've got mine on. I want to say he goes into the 86. So I want to say it's got to be something like the Winter Wingback. I want to say it's something along there. So I can go into this one after. And to be honest, it does a pretty good job like that. As a free right back that you can go with, it's not terrible. Yes, I would love to get a little bit more of an upgrade. I think we could put him into the weak foot upgrade, which I'm probably going to do because he's in the main team for me personally still. So that's going to be a nice upgrade from him. And you're getting a solid upgrade across the board. So they're kind of my Evos. They would be definite contenders that I would love to get an Evo for. And then again, we look at a few others. We've obviously got Mengengo. Beautiful card. Like, his base stats as either a centre back or a left back is brilliant. Could do with the Playstyle Plus, and I think again that's where Mendy and also Walker needed that upgrade as well. This guy's exactly the same, but from a centre back, well, a left back that can play centre back, 88 on the pace, good defending physical. We've got some composure there. I know he has got the ability to go into some Evos, so you could get the intercept, which is good enough. I like it on a CDM personally, but it's going to give him at least a Playstyle Plus and also a Playstyle and also an upgrade in the card itself. So another one that maybe isn't necessarily what you would use right now, but it's a possibility. Someone like Darmian, probably now you could go for the Evo, but I don't think he's going to outweigh. You got to think you're not necessarily going to Evo too many of the same. I normally go through two processes of an Evo. Is what are the chances of a future Evo? So Mendy, Walker, if we look at the new one with Ramirez, with obviously Matuidi, am I likely to get them until footies? Are they going to be good enough that they could play in a team potentially? And then after I've kind of went through the possibilities of seeing who's there. Like, for instance, if you go into the Evos right now, what I'd do, I'd look at the Octopus and go, okay, well, I've got Matuidi, could be an option. Obviously, then I've got the Ramirez, if I've got him in the team already. I could go with him. If I'm not fancying it, I'll look down the list. Tchouameni, probably wait for a Playstyle Plus. Tonali, exactly the same. If I've got the Ugarte, it's a Man U card, so I would then look at potentially Evo in my Man U team to go, and vice versa for your team. If you got a Southampton, a Bournemouth, Real Madrid, bronze, silvers, golds, whatever you can, you then look towards them Evos. So that is kind of how I do my Evos personally. Look at the main players, see who's there. Obviously, if Walker or Mendy can go into it, even though Mendy's not on my main team anymore, it's always a possibility. Until Teo gets in there, that's going to be my options for Evos. Then we kind of look through a few more. We've obviously got kind of Lucy Bronze. Probably go more just usable at this point. I wouldn't go too crazy. Capdevia, to be fair, could do with the upgrade now. I think with him, he's exactly the same as Walker and Mendy. Never gets upgraded. Never gets upgraded. He's got the chance of a couple of Evos, but mainly the press proven, the rubbish ones. He just doesn't get it. Like last year, we went the whole year until we got that final 97. At least before we got the World Cup, we got the Fantasy, I want to say that one was, and then obviously the footers, but at least you got a couple upgrades. And I know Evos will sort that out slightly, but he just needs something. So I think for me, again, because of the Playstyle Plus, as we're now getting into the double territory, we kind of need something from him. Now, obviously, if we are looking at the likes of a double Playstyle Plus, we're kind of going down the list into some of the big ones. I think there is only one or two. Is it just one? It must be just one. And technically, he is a centre-back that is a right-back as well. I don't think there's any more, actually. It is going to be our boy Carlos Alberto with an unbelievable card. This is an absolute stunner of a centre-back, right-back. You've also got the CDM version as well, which is just beautiful. That is a throw and a half. I love it. The sideburns and everything. Dynamic is cold. But then you've also got this one, more of back in the Carlos Alberto era there. Not quite got the throw going on from the front end. But you've got the Anticipate Relentless. It's a nice partnership with them. I must admit, I'm a bit more of a fan of the Anticipate and Long Ball Plus, is what it is. I kind of would have liked to have seen, like, even if it was Anticipate and Intercept or Anticipate and Whipped Pass or something, Relentless is just one of them ones. And you're going to push them out right. Realistically, we've got so many good centre-backs. I would recommend looking at him as a right-back if you've already got the centre-backs. Like Virgil and Konate, absolutely fine in that role. Throw him on the right. Have your right side completely clear. You won't need to change it. He's going to be the only one. And if we double check, because it could be that he is the only one with the double Playstyle Plus at this point. You've got him there. And I think, I want to say that is it. We've got very, very few. Like, I don't think any... Oh, we've got Rolfo as well, of course. She's obviously got the jockey and intercept. Nice partnership there. But she also does have a centre mid also. So she's not quite the card everybody wants this time for a left back. She is going to be better in that centre mid realistically. And I think that is it. I knew there was one more. So for her, I'd probably be looking more towards kind of very usable, more so than the top meta. I think definitely in the top meta, we're looking at Carlos Alberto. I still think we're looking at Teo. I think all versions of Teo are still incredible. Like, the card is just beautiful. Still coming in at 184. And again, if you look across the players and think what players are actually worth anything anymore, there is very few golds worth anything anymore. When you go up to the list, you've got Mbappe now at 1.44, which is a massive price drop. 380 for Vinny, 180 for Teo, and that's it. Everybody else is under the 100 now. It just shows the levels. Now, it also shows he's not necessarily the most packable player in the world, but it's still one of them things that he is just unbelievable. Any Evos that come his way, I haven't got his inform or his track star, so if he does manage to get that Evo for the left back, I am going to be well happy. And if it is the team of the year one, then I'm interested to see where they go with that. Moving through a few more, we've obviously got some players that are incredible. There is one that I got added because I saw him, was it yesterday? I saw him in a few pro events. I can't remember which pro event it was. I don't know if it was yesterday or the one prior to this. This guy right here is outrageous. And I know I don't really like to compare anybody to a pro because their level of playing is on a different level. I saw one and it was yesterday's, like one of the first games in the pro, and he's kind of like gone across to the right mid. He's pinged it back into the edge of the box with a lofted through ball-esque, and then he's gone for the flare over the top pass again into then a bicycle. And I'm like, how do you, like, this is like within snapshots, it's one time touches. How on earth I'd be just run amok. But this card has been outrageous for them. In game, he has been sensational. So if you want to try him out, I've seen a lot of people mention him now. Now they've seen pros use him, and he has been absolutely wonderful for a lot of people. Could go for the 4-star weak foot as well. Always a nice little added bonus with that. I'm a big fan of how they're doing evolutions at the minute. Some are very samey. I'm noticing a lot of comments on them that we're getting the Octopus 2, the Deep Line Playmaker 2, some things that are very bog standard, very similar, which is why they're gearing up to the next level. I feel like after Team of the Year or even during, we could then get the next load up into the 88s, into the 89s, because people's teams are going to progress. The only thing I'm interested in is when do we go from like the 90s to 94s, because we've still got a lot of promos prior from Team of the Year to Team of the Season. Then is it going to be triple role plus, triple play style plus? Is it going to be different positions constantly? There's a lot to get on board with all of it, so it is a very interesting cycle after Team of the Year. Throwing in a few more players then, let's have a look. We've obviously got Grimaldo. Still think he's very, very good. Would say he's dropped off a little bit in my opinion compared to what we're seeing now, most definitely. DeMarco would still put himself up there. Frimpong I'd go into very usable still. Again, like DeMarco, needs the playstyle plus. But there's going to be plenty of upgrades for him. I think stats-wise, he still gets himself about. I do think both of them are very exceptional left back and right backs that work really, really well. Nuno Tavares with the Rapid Plus, like I've always said when it comes to talking about fullbacks, I am more of a fullback rather than attacking wingback. I can use the attacking wingback, but I'd have to change how I play in the formation. Normally, if I'm going for left back, right backs that are attacking, I tend to play the 5 at the back. I don't really have a very good defensive ability. I'm okay, but I'm definitely better at attacking. like a lot of people I can imagine. I'm used to the FIFA era where literally you chuck it to Messi or Ronaldo on the left or right wing and just run forward and then cross it in, do whatever you need to do, get the shot off. That's kind of my tactic. So whenever it comes to that, it's now no defensive ability whatsoever. Get everybody down the wing and have nobody back. And basically outscore your opponent. That's kind of how I used to play. Then we're looking at a few of the icons. We've obviously got Cafu, Alberto, and Carlos. To be honest, I still think all of them are incredible. When you look at the price of all of them together, We've got Carfu coming in at 787 now, relatively decent price for him, still unbelievable. You've got Alberto coming in at his 91, got the Anticipate still at 600k, which is always nice. And then you're looking at Roberto Carlos, who probably for me, it's hilarious because I would say he's kind of towards the bottom end of them two, to be fair. And yet, he's the most expensive. Maybe it's because he's kind of the hardest to pack. The supply might be quite low. Obviously, he's been a 90 rated, so you kind of got the lowest vibe from him. But he's just never in any of my feeds. I've seen Carfu packed quite a bit. Carlos Alberto a little bit, but Roberto Carlos, I very rarely ever see someone post that they've packed him. But I think all three of them are still very, very top of the game. Like obviously Carfu needs the upgrade. Carlos Alberto's got this upgrade as well with a double. Relentless is not necessarily a massive double playstyle plus. It has an impact. It's better to have it than not to have it. At least he's kept the Anticipator as well, which is always nice. But when you look at the Carlos Alberto and Roberto Carlos, and Carfu is what I was trying to say. Loads of Carloses and Albertos. Incredible players regardless. Like you get them in your team, you're absolutely having a field day. We throw into a bit of Llorente. I think he's had a few decent upgrades, to be honest. We've obviously got him in his lovely form at the moment with the Trailblazer, but I'm pretty sure that card has had many, many upgrades that he could have gone into from these. He's had plenty of defensive ones that you could have put him into. I know if you went from the gold, I want to say he's had a few as well. You could really put him high up in the gold because of the extra kind of leeway with the stats as such, going up to that 87 and putting himself as more of a centre mid than a right back. So I think with him, he's going to be positionally based he's going to be better in the centre mid now. I think with the upgrade, he needs to play Star Plus like a lot of them, but he's going to be better in that centre mid. So I would kind of put him towards more of a usable card in right back, but it's not his preferred position. It's going to be great if you get a red card at right back and no right back on the pitch or on the bench. So that kind of works in his favour. We then throw in a bit of Davies. Love him. I think he's incredible. Obviously could do with an upgrade now as well. The Rapid, like I say, I'm better at the fullback. So for me, he's kind of a bit under with not necessarily the greatest defensive ability. He does need that upgrade to really kind of home in on the defending side more so than his kind of attacking side. The pace is unbelievable. Like getting down the wing, if you're using him as attacking wing back, it's going to be brilliant at it compared to someone like a Mendy, who's going to be more kind of, well, for me, it's more fullback, but I suppose you could go wing back with him as well. But somebody who is more of a stay back defender, Alfonso's going to be twice the player going forward, but defending side of stuff without that upgrade, maybe going from his base card into an Evo could be something, but definitely the track star is just good enough. Di Lorenzo would say definitely looking at an Evo. Delot's a funny one because I think he's good enough. I'd say definitely needs an Evo as well, but I'd possibly say this one's it's still usable-ish, but to be fair, I would like the Evo because I think Gusto was the exact same without his playstyle plus. Now I say Gusto's probably put himself back in the mixer that little bit. I'm still not necessarily happy with the Rapid plus. I would have much preferred a better Playstyle Plus, which I'd imagine you probably could have put on him prior to him getting the Playstyle Plus. It would have been interesting to see how it would have worked, but I bet there was a possibility or realm that he could do it. And I'd say usable. I think he could do with the upgrade soon, but at least he's got something added to that bonus in my opinion. O'Hara, I'd say she's usable still. McCabe, I'd probably miss out on. John Honoré says, much as I could say Evo would be nice, I just don't see it at the moment. Robertson, he's one of them. Like I think he's almost there. Like I think he's a good card, but there's already so many options that you can go with. Unless you're building the Liverpool team, I don't see him as that next level one. He's obviously got the whipped pass already, so you can put him into Evos and not get the other Playstyle Plus. So obviously with the Remember Kaliba, you could obviously put him into there, get a bit more defensive, which is nice, and the Evos for some of these cards would really put him on the spot, but I'm going to go more usable. Robinson could do with the Evo. Rosalion, I'm going to go. It could do with the Evo because I think he'd be better than missing, but I'd probably say he's more Evo than usable. I think he's kind of just that little bit lower. The 85, you know there's going to be possibilities of an Evo for him, and probably right now there's Evo, so I would go there. Trent, very, very specific. He's got to be... He's got that ability on him. He really does. He's one of them cards that if you can use him right, he's not a bad card. He's definitely dropped off. Like when we first got him in the Total Rush, and we're talking like second or third promo into the game, there was not many right backs that you could go with. He was a fantastic option. Now we've got quite a few, probably not as much. We do have the two Tarams, obviously his lovely icon, and then we also have his Thunderstruck. Incredible, as always. His card is unbelievable. We then have Mycon as well. We have got the other version somewhere. Or do we not? Have I got to add that in? So we have added that in. Obviously, his base version's coming in at 130. We do then have 440 for his 90 rated. It's got a nice upgrade, to be honest. A 2+ overall, but 3s and 2s across the board is always nice. Gets himself the 4-star as well. A very, very good card. I'd go more towards 90 there in the top meta, and then I'd go very usable for his 88. Even if it is just a little bit of an upgrade, you've got to put the best of the best up there. And I think Mycon is unbelievable for the price. He definitely is one of them cards that if you could afford the upgrade, he's definitely worth going for. Then we've got obviously the likes of Zambrotta, Zanetti, Cole, a bit of Lahm as well for the rest of the icons. Personally for me, Zanetti, I would go miss. I really don't like the card, but you could use it. Like if you really needed to, you could. I just don't think the SBC for me would be worth it. Zambrotta, probably one of the best cards that you'll find at that rating. I can imagine at some point soon he will get a nice Evo upgrade as well. He's obviously got the weak foot upgrades and everything, which he's already got anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But in terms of kind of that upgrade, he's not far off being able to get there. And to be honest, I really would put Zambrotta as one of their meta cards as well. He is just everywhere. He's got himself the Relentless, which I think is the only thing that lets him down in my opinion, and I think that would be the only reason I'd drop him down into very usable. I think if he had just something that was a bit more useful as a right back or even as a defender in general, I would say he's one of the best for the price that you're paying. Still very good with the Relentless, but he needs that little bit extra. We have Silva, I'd probably miss out on now. Guerrero, I'd say is usable. He's got some nice stats, but you're probably looking more centre mid. Very much like Rolfo, to be honest. She is very much, and she's got to be some... Oh, no, she's there. I've already put her there. He's one of them cards that is just a multiple position. It's great that he can play left back. He can also play centre mid on this version. It depends on where you want to go with. I then think the Nori, is it Nori I want to say? The Wolves left back that you can get for obviously the objective. You get to pick between the two, obviously attacking wing back or fullback. Personally for me the fullback is the better option regardless of my personal preference of defending, and I think he is a very, very good card that you could potentially Evo in the future as well, but he's got some really nice base stats on him. Alaba, God, it feels like ages since we had Alaba, to be honest. And I'd probably go Evo now. I think he's very good at the left back role, but he was kind of bought in for more of a CDM. If you got an Evo that kind of really focused on that defensive side, because we've already got some dribbling, good amount of passing. If you got a little bit more pace, a bit more physicality in defending, I think you could switch him back to the left back now. Then we've obviously got Cole. He's going to go in very usable. Still a good card as always. Never really going to be the top meta without being like a Team of the Year icon that just goes up to that 92, 93 early on. The problem with Cole is he'll get there when everybody else gets there. And it was the same with Capdevia. It got to that 97, which is crazy. Like, it's a great upgrade, but it's too late. Like, we've already got probably a 96 left back, a 98 left back that we've already played a lot of matches with. At that point, we're not changing. I think Cole was the same last year. We got the 95. The 92 was good, but by then, we already had a Ferland Mendy. We had Team of the Seasons. We had so many good cards. We just didn't need them. I think that was... I think we didn't get Team of the Season. We got it after. But even then, the first week, we just had so many better cards. And realistically, we had the Centurions, and that was it. The 89, and to be honest, was subpar. Very, very subpar. Lahm is very much like our man Zanetti. He has had a nice upgrade, but I do prefer him in that CDM role, which he can play. He's got the intercept, which I prefer in that role as well. But he still is a solid right back. It's just the physicality that lets him down that little bit. I'd say he's kind of flexing between the very usable and usable, which then leaves us with Lizarazu. unreal left back, one of the best left backs we've got, 100%. A few more of the winter wildcards that we've got, they're usable. They've got some very unique sets of skills, some of them with the 99 pace, the 99 dribbling, we've seen 99 passing, or having the quick step, which is an incredible playstyle plus, but it might not be in the right role. We obviously see the same with Nuno Mendes. I still think he's a very, very top end sort of card. And I'd probably say when you're looking at him, it's only name that's really enhancing his ability, in my opinion. We have Alex Scott with the jockey. She has got a left back, right back position, which is a solid one. Again, you'd argue, is she that usable, or is it just a name of a hero? I think when we look at the stats in general, there's a reason why she's only 34 and 54,000 coins. Granted, I'd say the right back's probably the better option for you, especially with the left back having quite a nice array of options as well. It's just a standard card, in my opinion. So I'd go probably just usable for her as well. We then have Lavelli. Honestly, I just didn't like her at all. I don't like her gold card. I don't like this card either. It's just... there's nothing there that screams very good to me. So it's kind of one of them. Pedro Porro, always usable. It's a great, we knew from the very start of this game that you could either Evo him later on down the line because he was bound to be able to have it, or we'll get an upgrade. Fantastic right back. Again, potential Evos in the future, but 89 is going to take him a little bit to get there, but a stunning card regardless. We then have Molina. I'd say definitely looking at an Evo. Same as Tagliafico. Same as Belanova. Gotta be. Bonpastor. Solid upgrade. I'm waiting for the next one, if I'm being brutally honest. She's only okay at that much, and I think that kind of screams for that ultimate succession hero. Like, I mean, I get the promo, but God, one upgrade. It's not enough. It's really not enough. Like, even she could probably be more of an Evo now. We have Estepina. Great left back. I rave about him massively. Just a very wonderful and consistent left back as well. We have Boy, unbelievable with the 88. We have Batcher, obviously puts herself a shift in as well. Same as Rolfo. Navas, another great one in there as well. We even have the Brighton one. I can never pronounce that name, but I'm pretty sure he's got a first name that I can say. 30. Beautiful. I knew he'd have a good first name. I can't pronounce that. So we've got the 87 for him, obviously being FC Pro Live. 96,000 needs that playstyle plus, and he will absolutely have a field day if he gets it, because the pace is there. He's obviously got incredible dribbling. Only the composure that really could do with that upgrade, but if he does manage to get that upgrade on the defensive side, 88, 87, 96 is a wonderful left back. He's absolutely brilliant. All he needs is that final upgrade. It's then quite easy with the likes of Sakina. Beautiful. We have got then the other winter, what are they called? The winter... What are they called? Winter Champions. I knew there was something. Lovely upgrade for him. Obviously 89. Could do with that upgrade of a place, not a playstyle plus, of a weak foot upgrade, but unfortunately is just not in any at the moment. He's 89 rated, so once he gets there, I think he will become slightly better. And I love the card design as well. Obviously with the red champ sort of design, it's always going to go off nicely. We have Kimmich. I'd personally prefer him as a CDM. I think he needs a better card. Beasley would be there. And then with the last three, Koyunde is unbelievable, I think. But then we've obviously got Olga and Gossens in their rival mastery. They're not available anymore, so they're very, very hard to get now if you could manage to figure out how to do that. But Koyunde is unbelievable. He's a solid right back. He would be another one I would be looking into that top meta, and I'd go for them too in the very usable. So let me know down below what you think about them. I think there's a huge difference now in what we're using and what we're not. We're seeing a lot more of the same faces, a lot more just Teos, a lot more just Walker Evos. There's very far and few differences, but there is so many options, and the list will only get bigger. It's absolutely crazy. So let me know down below what you think. Make sure you do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.